the delay. Let's say the Manglacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapad Kamlam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Satam Sajivam साधवेतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सागणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्द माधवं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य ईश्वरम् गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः. Hare Krishna. Okay, so let's get started. So just to catch you up, last few verses, we have just last few verses remaining. I think maybe 7-8 verses more to go. But we finished where we listed Arjuna's doubts or confusions that he presented before Krishna. So he gave 4 doubts or 4 type of confusions. What can anybody list those? Please list one each. 4 people.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Mataji.
First was compassion, which was coming from mind.
Yes, very bold. Compassion, very uncontrolled, soft-heartedness, or this misdirected kindness towards these aggressive, violent people. Compassion for his relatives, his people that he knew growing up, and did not want to kill them. Okay. Second,
Next, second was enjoyment, because
enjoyment.
he said that he will not be able to enjoy the kingdom after killing his family and friends. So he was thinking from the bodily level.
Yes, very bold. So enjoyment, he's thinking from the bodily level, that how will I enjoy this kingdom, this Raj Sukh? How will I get that Raj Sukh after killing all these people, all my kinsmen, all my relatives? So thinking from sensory, bodily, or physical level. Very nice. Number third. Who can mention number third? These 4 doubts, very important to know, because if we know the doubts, then we can try, then Krishna will clarify them in rest of the Bhagavad Gita.
I can tell Mataji if
Yes.
third was sin doing, which was coming from the spiritual mind of Arjuna and the wrong knowledge of scriptures. He was thinking that he'll be doing a sin against all his relatives and families by killing them.
Very bold. Mataji, this is unbelievable. I can't even believe that you know not only the cause, but where it's coming from. That is just wonderful memory. And because, Kali Yuga memory is not that good typically. So this is, can we say Hari Bol 3 times for Mataji?
Hari Bol,
Hari bol, Hari
Hari
bol,
Bol,
Hari
Hari
bol.
Bol.
So, yeah, he's worried about sinful reaction. These are actually exam questions. Like if you gave an exam on Bhagavad Gita, and most likely when we finish this Bhagavad Gita, not most likely, very much so, we'll give out certificate for whoever attended the Bhagavad Gita classes, that you have completed a whole class on Bhagavad Gita. Then you can start your own classes.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the third reason he gave us that we will get sinful reactions, which was coming from wrong understanding of scriptures, because he won't get sin for killing these aggressive people, but he will get sin from not killing them because he's a Kshatriya. He's in administrative position to punish them, to bring them to justice. So if you don't, if a judge or a policeman or cop or someone who can punish someone does not punish the aggressor person and lets them loose, so that they commit more sins in future, then it's on him, because he could have brought them to justice. So he has this opportunity to bring these aggressive people to justice, and if he lets them roam free, then now he will get sinful reaction, not by killing them, not by punishing them. Actually, he will be freeing them for their sinful reactions too. Because if somebody, a criminal, gets punished by the proper authority in a proper authorized manner, legal manner, this is a legal way of doing things, then actually their sinful reactions are mitigated, are diminished. So, and by killing them in battlefield, they will actually get liberated. So he's not going to get sin. Actually, by not killing, he's going to get sin. So wrong understanding of scriptures. Number 4.
If nobody's available, can I say?
I can say, Mataji.
Okay.
Let's see. Hiral Mataji say. Yes, ma'am.
Mataji.
I think it's a family destruction of family, like a
Yes.
short-term thinking about short-term chaos versus long-term peace.
Yes.
By killing those people with bad attitudes and bad karmas.
Very much so. Yes. So destruction of family traditions. So he's worried that and we will read, this is the last theme that's remaining now. He will elaborate more on this. So he will tell Krishna why he thinks family traditions will be lost, or all the cultural things, all the ritual ceremonies, sacrifices, spiritual, religious activities that elderly people uh, do in the family for purification and for spiritual advancement, all those cultural traditions in the family and in the society that are established by seniors will be lost. So we'll read more about this today. So these are the 4 excuses or 4 doubts he presented in front of Krishna. And all these doubts are coming from basically very narrow-minded thinking. He's thinking on bodily level. He's thinking of short-term bodily gain only. He's thinking of short-term bodily discomfort, right? His own bodily discomfort, short-term bodily gains and losses only. He's not thinking of long-term. And this is our tendency also. When we make decisions, we typically make based on short-term benefits, not long-term gains. That's why people eat harmful things, right? That's why people engage in all harmful habits, because they're not thinking of long term. It's very hard to think of long term. So he's thinking of very short term and bodily benefits or losses only. So let's continue with our next verse. So this is where he finished. We finished at 38, where he said that these people, O Janardhan, these men, their hearts are overtaken by greed, so they do not see any fault in fighting with the family. But we see that there is crime in destroying the family, so I should not engage in this sinful action. And then I think we read this one also, actually. We can just recite and read the translation and go to the next one. This is where the destruction of family tradition comes. Bhagavad Gita 1.39. Kulakshaye pranashyanti. Kulakshaye
Pranashanti
Kuldharma sanatana.
Kuldharma Sanatana
Dharme nashte kulam kritsnam. Dharme nashte
Kulam Krishtram
adharmo abhivavati yuta.
Adharmo Bhivavati Yuta.
Okay, can someone please read the translation and purport?
Yes, Mataji, I can read. With the destruction of the dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanished, and thus the rest of the family become involved in the religions purport. In the system of the Varnasrama institution, there are many principles of religious tradition to help members of the family grow properly and attain spiritual values. The elder members are responsible for such purifying process in the family, beginning from birth to death. But on the death of the elder members, such family tradition of purification may stop, and the remaining younger family members may develop irreligious habits and thereby lost their chance for spiritual salvation. Therefore, therefore, for no purpose should the elder member of the family be slain.
Hare Krishna. So he's saying Kulakshaye. Kulakshay, when the family is destroyed, pranashyanti, the family traditions, kul dharma pranashyati. pranashyanti. Kul dharma means family traditions. So there are many religious activities, in each family, in each society or different types of communities, there are certain samskaras or ceremonies, ritualistic religious practices are performed for purification. So many rituals are there. So for example, if you think about how, we have come to US, so we don't have a lot of elderly guidance here. I know I can speak for myself. So what happens is when there is not much, relatives or ancestral people around you, not many people of previous generation around you, you tend to lose touch with your traditional various practices that was a very core to your family. So many things that family does together to celebrate various festivals or various sacrifices, yagnas, so many things that are done, samskaras, when anything auspicious happens, when a child is born, sanskara is done, when a mother is pregnant, samskara is done, when a child reaches a certain age, certain samskaras are followed. After marriage, certain sanskaras are followed. Yagyas are done at different times when you buy a new house or so many things. Even when people used to buy new car or get a promotion, certain auspicious things were done, certain ritualistic ceremonies were done to show their gratitude to the supreme lord or to the family deity, etc. Right, those things are done, but those things get lost when there is nobody to guide you in those traditions. So here Arjun is saying that elder members are responsible for maintaining those traditions in the family, and if we kill them, then those rituals will be lost. And same thing will then extend to the family, into the society also. In society also, social activities, welfare activities are done, and they will not happen anymore. So people will lose their chance of spiritual salvation, because all these things help in salvation or spiritual advancement in spiritual progress. All those things that are liberating, these activities meant for liberation will stop. Let's read 40 and 41 together. We'll read the purport of 41. Okay, 1.40 Bhagavad Gita. Adharmabhibhavat Krishna.
Adharmabhivat Krishna.
Pradushyanti kula striya.
Pradushanti
Kula
Kulastriya.
Strishu dushtasu varshneya.
Strishu Dushtasu Vashneya.
Jayate varna shankara.
Jayate Varna Sankara.
Can anyone read the translation?
Yes, I can read.
Yes.
Hari Bol. When irreligion is prominent in the family, O Krishna, the woman of the family become, this board has come.
I don't know what board you see it now. I'm not.
Is there?
Okay, I'm not sure what to do. Okay, can somebody else?
It's okay now.
Okay.
I'm starting reading from the start. When irreligion is prominent in the family, O Krishna, the women of the family become polluted, and from the degradation of womanhood, O descendant of Varsini, comes unwanted progeny.
This is Vrishni. We'll read the next one. Let's both of those go together. Let's recite this. Read this. Sankaro Narakaeva. Sankaro
Narakaeva.
Kulgnanam kulasya cha.
Kulganam
Kulasya cha.
Patanti pitro hi yesham.
Patanti pitro hi yesham.
Lupta pindodaka kriya.
Lupta
Pindodaka kriya.
Okay, Mama, you can read this one.
Okay. An increase of unwanted population certainly causes hellish life both for the family and for those who destroy the family tradition. The ancestors of such corrupt families fall down because the performances for offering them food and water are entirely stopped. Purport. According to the rules and regulations of fruitive activities, there is a need to offer periodical food and water to the forefathers of the family. This offering is performed by worship of Vishnu, because eating the remnants of the food offered to Vishnu can deliver one from all kinds of sinful reactions. Sometimes the forefathers may be suffering from various types of sinful reactions, and sometimes some of them cannot even acquire a gross material body and are forced to remain in subtle bodies as ghosts. Thus, when remnants of Prashadam food are offered to the forefathers by descendants, the forefathers are released from ghostly or other kinds of miserable life. Such help renders to forefathers in a family tradition. And those who are not in a devotional life, again devotional life are required to perform such rituals. One who is engaged in the devotional life is not required to perform such actions. Simply by performing devotional service, one can deliver hundreds and thousands of forefathers from all kinds of misery.
You can just read the translation of this.
Okay. Anyone who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda, the giver of liberation, giving up all kinds of obligation, and has taken to the path in all seriousness, owes neither duties nor obligations to the demigods, sages, general living entities, family members, humankind, or forefathers. Such obligations are automatically fulfilled by performance of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. So in the last verse, Arjun said, let's understand that one. So what will destruction of family traditions lead to? So when there are no elders or let's say men of the family to guide the family, men are the main maintainer of the family on which the other dependents, the wife and children will depend and other elderly will depend. So when the men are killed in this battle, the women become polluted. So women become polluted, meaning that women who are the dependents, they will basically get exploited by the unscrupulous men of the society. They will, not have any means to support them, and they may become prey to these predators in the society. And also, since there is no guidance in the society, the men and women will start whimsically coming together. So there will be no proper guidance on how they should come just because of their sensual lust or attraction for each other. Men and women will start coming together for wrong reasons, basically, without any rules or regulations, without considering any higher principles or purposes. They will just come together whimsically for lust or for bodily purposes. And so that typically leads to contamination for women. And when children are born of such consciousness, by such degraded type of bodily behavior, which is, coming together just out of pure lust, then that leads to unwanted progeny. So unwanted progeny means unwanted children. So in this way, basically, all the dependents will get corrupted. They will get exploited. Women will become unchaste, and children will be there will be unwanted progeny or unwanted children coming into the world, and everybody's polluted. Everybody's consciousness is polluted. They're resorting to different means, because there is no proper guidance, and they're just fulfilling. Everybody's just looking after their bodily maintenance and bodily lust, sense gratification. So nobody's living for a higher purpose. There are no samskaras in the family. There will not be any proper marriage ceremonies happening, no yagyas happening. Men and women are just out of wedlock coming together like that. As we see even in the modern day, men and women just coming together before wedlock, or even out of the wedlock, after wedding, with extramarital affairs and whatnot happening. So all these type of things lead to degradation of consciousness and unwanted children in the society. And so this happens because of lack of proper principles, proper guidance, or rules and regulations not being established by the elders in the family, because elders are all slain in the war. Then the next thing that happens as a result of destruction of family traditions or loss of elderly people is, so okay, unwanted children, unchaste women, and then Arjun is saying, he's put real, thought into this, and he's saying that the ancestors of such corrupt families will fall down. So the pitras, the ancestors or the forefathers that have already passed away, they're supposed to be liberated by the actions or by the sacrifices performed by the current family. Family has a duty to liberate their ancestors. That's why so many sacrificial ceremonies or pitras, pindadan is performed by the family to liberate their ancestors. So if ancestors are stuck anywhere in their spiritual progress because of previous sinful reactions, bad karmas, anywhere if they're stuck, then those will be purified and they will get liberated. That's the purpose of those purificatory ceremonies. But since no more ceremonies, sacrifices, yagyas, dan, tap, nothing is being done, so those ancestors will also stay stuck or even fall down. So they will not be liberated because all these things are entirely, offering of food and water to them is entirely stopped. Prabhupada has elaborated on this in the purport that this is the tradition of offering food and water to the pitras, especially during certain times, auspicious times of the year, when Pindadan is performed, and by offering that prasadam to them, to the ancestors, they get liberated, because prasadam is the sanctified food which is first offered to the Lord and then offered to the pitras, and they get released from their sinful reactions. So forefathers are able to move on in their spiritual journey. But Prabhupada is saying, is giving this understanding here, because many of us may be thinking we are not where, we are sitting here in US, may not be doing pitri, pindan and all these things for pitras. So what will happen to our forefathers and ancestors? So Prabhupada is reassuring us by quoting some verses from, he's quoted one verse from Bhagavatam, and anything that Prabhupada says comes from Vedic literature, from his deep knowledge of this vast ocean of Vedic literature. He tells us that somebody who becomes a devotee, who is engaged in devotional service, in devotional life to the Supreme Lord, does not need to engage in separate activities to release forefathers. Okay, so he says, those who are not in devotional life are required to perform such rituals. And then he says those that are engaged in devotional life are not required to perform such rituals, because by serving the Supreme Lord, everybody else is automatically supplied, automatically served. So you just have to serve the Supreme Lord and everything else automatically happens. You don't have to do separate things. You don't have to do separate rituals to please forefathers, to please demigods separately. Just if you take shelter of Supreme Lord Mukunda, because Mukunda means giver of liberation, then all the other sacrifices and all are automatically performed. So your thousands of generations of forefathers will be liberated by you performing pure devotional service. And actually in 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Narsingadev tells this to Prahlad, that you don't need to worry about Hiranyakashipu, he will be liberated, but so many other generations will be liberated because you have appeared in this family. So by appearance of a pure devotee in a family, or by somebody taking up devotional service, many generations before and after are liberated. So that's, but the Arjun's point was that all these traditions will stop and ancestors will not get offering of food and water, so they will fall down. So first he talked about fall down of women, unwanted children, and fall down of forefathers. Then let's see what else he says. Number 42. Dosher ete kula. Did you already do this? No. Okay, let's do this. Dosher ete kulagnanam.
Doshe
वर्णशङ्कराकारकये
वर्णशङ्कराकारकये
उत्साद्यन्ते जाति धर्मा
उत्साद्यन्ते जाति धर्मा
कुलधर्माश्च शाश्वता
कुलधर्माश्च शाश्वताः.
I think let's just read the translation of this, then we'll read the next one.
Okay, you can read it. By the evil deeds of those who destroy the family tradition and thus give rise to unwanted children, all kind of community project and the family welfare activities are devastated.
Okay, so this is straightforward. Of course, if a family is struggling, there is no maintainer of the family. They are being exploited, and there are no elders to teach the rules and principles of liberation or spiritual principles. Then that struggles of the family will extend into the community and society also. So the community projects, whatever social welfare, charitable activities, so many things are done in the community. All those things will not happen. They will also be devastated. So the society of where all these corrupt families, all these destroyed families live, that whole society will suffer, because a society also has certain traditions, certain festivals they celebrate together, certain rituals where families come together to perform rituals. All those things will be now broken because they're struggling on the basic level. So nobody has time to think of spiritual upliftment when they're struggling materially. So they'll be struggling so much that all these spiritual projects will be lost. Even other material welfare projects, charitable, philanthropic activities will also be lost in the community. Let's read the next one. Utsankula dharmanam. Utsankula dharmanam. Manushyanam janardanam. Manushyanam janardanam. Narke niyatam vaso.
Narke niyatam vaso
Bhavati iti anushushruma.
bhavati dashanu shushrumaha.
Okay, please read this one. So you can read this whole thing.
I can read, Mataji. Hare
Yes.
Krishna. O Krishna, maintainer of the people, I have heard but displic succession that those whose family traditions are destroyed dwell always in hell. Do you want me to read the purport, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Arjuna bases his argument not only on his own personal experience but on what he has heard from the authorities. That is the way of receiving real knowledge. One cannot reach the real point of factual knowledge without being helped by the right person who is already established in that knowledge. This is a system in the Varnashram institution by which, before death, one has to undergo the process of atonement for his sinful activities. One who is always engaged in sinful activities must utilize the process of atonement called prashchitam. Without doing so, one surely will be transferred to hellish planets to undergo miserable lives as a result of sinful activities. Haribol.
Haribol. So here Arjun is referring to Krishna as Janardhan. Janardhan means oh maintainer of the people. Jan ka logon ka jo maintain karte hain, that is Janardhan, Krishna. So he said, I have, this word is very important here. Please pay attention. Anu Shushruma. Anu means to be underneath somebody, to be under the guidance or under the instructions of someone. Shushruma means I've heard. So I've heard under the guidance or under the proper instruction or under the proper authority. So Prabhupada has translated it to disciplic succession. If you remember, we talked about disciplic succession in the introduction of Bhagavad Gita. Disciplic succession basically means Guru Shishya Parampara. So one guru transfers the knowledge to a shishya, that shishya then transfers the knowledge to the next one, and then that one to the next one. Like that, a whole chain or series of Guru Shishya Parampara is going on. And this parampara starts from Krishna. Krishna gives knowledge to Brahmaji. Brahmaji gives it to Narad Muni. Narad Muni gives it to Vyasadev. Like that, the tradition is going on of Guru Shishya Parampara. So the authorized Guru Shishya Parampara is the one which starts from the Supreme Lord himself. So the tradition that we are following, we are coming down in line from Prabhupada, and Prabhupada comes in the disciplic succession starting from Krishna. So in proper Guru Shishya Parampara, one has to hear things. And Arjun said that I have heard, because we know that Arjun is a very learned person. He has heard all the spiritual truths before. Here he's just playing a part of being a confused person. He's acting like an ordinary person. He's acting like us. Like when we have to make a decision, we make those decisions based on bodily level or short-term confusions. We get all these short-term, we get confused by the short-term harms and benefits, and we ignore the long-term. So he's acting like us, like a confused person. Otherwise, he's a very elevated, learned scholar, a devotee of the Lord who is very advanced in knowledge, very well situated in self-realization. But right now, for Krishna's fulfill Krishna's purpose of delivering Bhagavad Gita, he's playing this part of a very confused, perplexed person. But he says that I've heard in disciplic succession, meaning he says that I've heard through proper channel or proper authoritative system of Guru Shishya Parampara, that when these family traditions are destroyed, those families, those people, they live in hell. They narake niyatam vaso. They always niyatam vaso. They will always live in hell. So, so Prabhupada has introduced two words in purport. Prayashchit is a very common Hindi word, which means atonement in English. Atonement means to do some kind of purificatory, like penance type of activities when you commit a sin. Like Christians often go to these those penitentiaries where they confess, or confessional boxes where they sit and confess their sins to the Father. Oh Father, I have sinned, like that. So they basically try to atone for their sins. So atone means to do prayashchit. So you recognize that you have done some sin and you try to atone or do prayashchit for that by doing some kind of purificatory activity or like a penance. So Prabhupada is saying, in our system of Varnashram Dharma, there is a facility of atonement called Prayashchit, by which you can atone for sinful activities. Because Arjun has brought up the point of sin, that these families that we destroy, they will live a very hellish life, they will live in hell. So Prabhupada is saying that, yes, if they were following proper Varnashram Dharma, they could actually atone for their sins and they don't have to go to hell. But the point, I think the main point is Arjuna's concern about destroying the family traditions and all that will follow subsequently by destroying these families. Elders are lost, the culture and traditions in their families will be lost, no purificatory activities, women will get exploited, unwanted children will take birth. The whole consciousness of the family and the society will be degraded. Forefathers will not get proper, they will not get liberated and fall down, and these families will go to hell. Narkam niyatam vaso. Varnashram dharma, we will go into detail some other time. Varna means social order and ashram means spiritual order. Varna basically refers to the Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, four Varnas, which is sometimes known as caste system, that is Varna. And ashram means the spiritual order, which is the Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanprastha, and Sannyas ashram. So Krishna will come to it in 4th chapter, we'll discuss it then. But this system is not currently followed very much. We are all Grahasthas typically, and we are all Shudras typically. So none of the Varna and Ashram as Krishna intended it to be is really followed. But when in Dwapar Yug people used to follow Varnashram system, there were these facilities of atonement available. Okay, let's keep reading. I think there are 3 more to go, 2 to 3 more to go. Okay, 44. Aho bata mahat papam. Aho bata mahat papam. Kartum vyavasita vayam. Kartum vyavasita vayam. Yadrajya sukha lobhena. Yadrajya sukha lobhena. Hantum swajanam uptyata. Hantum swajanam uptyata. Can someone read this?
I can read, Mataji.
Yes.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Alas, how strange it is that we are preparing to commit great sinful acts, driven by the desire to enjoy royal happiness. We are intent on killing our own kinsmen. You want me to read the purport, Mataji?
Let's see, Madhuri, let's read the next one. Let's see which we got. Okay, 2 more. Actually, they are very short. Let's read the next one. You can read this one also, Mataji, and read the purport also. 45. यदि माम् अप्रतीकारम्
यदि
प्रतीकारम्
अशस्त्रं शस्त्रपाणया अशस्त्रं
अशस्त्रं
शस्त्रपाणया
शस्त्रपाणयः
धार्तराष्ट्रारणे रणे हन्योस् धार्तराष्ट्रारणे
राष्ट्रारणे
हन्योस्
हन्यन्
तन्मे क्षेमतरं भवेत् तन्मे
तन्मे
क्षेमतरं भवेत्
कृष्णतरं
Please go ahead.
Okay. Translation. Better for me if the son of Dhritarashtra, weapons in hand, were to kill me unarmed and unresisting on the battlefield.
Go ahead.
Purport. It is custom, according to Kshatriya fighting principles, that an unarmed and unwilling foe should not be attacked. Arjuna, however, decided that even if attacked by the enemy in such an awkward position, he would not fight. He did not consider how much the other party was bent upon fighting. All these symptoms are due to soft heartedness resulting from his being a great devotee of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So both these verses, he's basically saying, so he gave his excuses to, or his doubts to Krishna. These are four doubts I have. I'm full of compassion. I will not be able to enjoy this kingdom. I will get sinful reaction, and all the family traditions will be destroyed. And then after explaining all those four things, he says, it is how strange it is that we are committing this greatly sinful act. So he's considering this act of war against Kauravas, who are his family members, a sinful act. He's calling it a sinful act. And he's saying, driven by the desire to enjoy royal happiness. So, why am I doing it? I told you, right? He introspected. Why am I doing it? So, he's thinking he's doing it to enjoy royal happiness. This is a wrong answer. So, you can introspect, but you have to introspect in a way that you get spiritual answers, not bodily answers. Why am I doing it? He's saying, I'm doing it to enjoy royal happiness. Rajya Sukha Lobhena. That's not true. He's not doing it to enjoy royal happiness. He's doing it to establish a proper law and order, proper uh, uh, representative of Krishna on the throne. He's doing it to establish dharmic person on the throne and not a violent criminal person, and to usurp the violent criminal person from the throne. That's why he's doing it, not to enjoy royal happiness. Since he's giving himself a wrong answer, he's becoming distracted from his purpose. If he gave himself the wrong answer, that I want to put a very dharmic, a very proper devotee representative of the Lord on the throne, that will be the right answer. That will give him clarity of purpose, and he will not be saying this. He will not be saying that this is a sinful act. But right now, his answer is wrong. It's coming from a bodily platform. That's why he thinks it's a sinful act. Yes, if you're doing it to enjoy royal happiness, then it's a sinful act. But that's not why you're doing it. He said, we are intent on killing our own kinsmen. No, you're not just killing your own kinsmen. You would have killed them whoever they were. You are killing them because they are adharmic people. You're killing them because they have cheated you. They're corrupt people. They're fraudulent people. They are sinful. They're very vicious people. They will cause a lot of destruction in the society if they were allowed to rule, and their progeny will be even further degraded. If this Kaurva, if this Duryodhan and party are so degraded, imagine how degraded their progeny will further be. So you're not killing your own kinsmen. Again, wrong answer. You're not killing your relatives willy-nilly. You're killing the enemies of dharma. So that's why he's feeling it's sinful, because he's coming up with all bodily related answers on material platform. So then he says, better for me if these sons of Dhritarashtra, they're called Dhartarashtra. Dhartarashtra means Dhritarashtra's sons. All these sons of Dhritarashtra, they just kill me. I will not put up a fight against them. Let's read the last verse of this chapter. Sanjay Uvacha. Sanjay Uvacha.
Sanjaya Vacha.
Evam uktava Arjuna Sankhe. Evam uktava
Evam
Arjuna
uktava
Sankhe.
Arjuna Sankhe.
Rathopastha Upavishat. Rathopastha Upavishat.
Upavishat.
Visrijya sa sharam chapam. Visrijya sa
Visrijya
sharam
sharam
chapam.
chapam.
Shoka samvigna manasa. Shoka samvigna manasa. Okay. Can somebody read this?
I can read, Mataji.
Yes.
Sanjay said, Arjun, having thus spoken on the battlefield, cast aside his bow and arrow and sat down on the chariot, his mind overwhelmed with grief. But while observing the situation of his enemy, Arjuna stood up on the chariot, but he was so afflicted with lamentation that he sat down again, setting aside his bow and arrows. Such a kind and soft hearted person in the devotional service of the Lord is fit to receive self knowledge. Haribol.
Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport to the first chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Hare Krishna. So Sanjay wrapped up this particular narration of Arjuna's doubts. He said that in this way, having spoken, his mind was overwhelmed with grief. So you see, shok samvigna manasa. Manasa is mind. His manas is shok samvigna. It's completely overwhelmed, completely overcome with shok or grief. And he cast aside his bow and arrow. Sasharam, somewhere it said. Ratho upastha upavishad. So he sat down on the chariot after putting down his chapam is the bow and sharam is the arrows. So he put them down and sat down that I will not fight. So but then Prabhupada is saying in the purport, very important thing, that yes, Arjun has all these confusions, he has all these doubts, and we understood, we discussed it in detail, that those doubts are coming from bodily platform. Compassion is coming from excessive emotions in the mind. He's becoming over emotional. He's letting his emotions run away from him. He's getting carried away by these emotions. That's why so much compassion is coming. But this compassion is misdirected. It is misleading, misguided, because it is directed towards wrong people. Compassion should not be towards violent, aggressive people. Those need to be brought to justice. They cannot be compassionate towards them. Then second reason was enjoyment, which is he's thinking I'm doing this to enjoy the kingdom, and I will not be able to enjoy the kingdom once all these people are killed. I will feel so guilty, so aggrieved that I will not be able to enjoy. But we understood that the kingdom is not meant, yes, there will be losses, but the kingdom is not meant for his enjoyment. It is meant for his service. Just like Bharat served the kingdom of Ayodhya when Lord Ram left, even though it was so painful that everybody mistrusted him, everybody doubted him, yet he served it with so much pain in his heart. For 14 years, he served it. So similarly, yes, you will lose all these people, Bhishma and all, you will have to kill with your own hands. There will be so much pain, so much suffering, but you have to do it for Krishna. You have to do it for a very higher purpose. In short term, he's completely right. Arjuna is completely right. There will be all these losses. There will be all these harms done to the family traditions. All these things he's saying, family traditions will be lost. Problems with ritual sacrifices, women, forefathers. Yes, in short term, there will be a lot of chaos in the world, in the society, community, families, because of the war. War will bring chaos. He's right. All these people will be killed. He will not be able to enjoy the kingdom without them. All of those things are right. But the only problem is all those things are very short term. They are only from bodily platform. According to Krishna's grand vision of the world, this short term thinking does not fit. We have to think from spiritual vision. Then he said sinful reaction. That was completely wrong. He will not get sinful reaction by killing them. He will get sinful reaction by not killing them, because a Kshatriya who does not punish the aggressor or criminal, does not bring them to justice and let them harm other people, will get sinful reaction. Destruction of family will happen, but also remember that all these people on the battlefield will get liberated also. They will get liberated. And otherwise they will continue on with, and remember that yes, in short term all this destruction will happen, but if these aggressive people who are so exploitative, if they continued in the society, they will still cause exploitation in the society. They will still cause sins and crimes in the society. So these people their lives need to be cut short, and Arjun will be helping them move by cutting their sinful life short and by giving them proper reactions on the battlefield. Actually, if a criminal gets punished by the authority, by the government properly, he gets the reactions back then and there. He does not have to suffer in the afterlife. So actually, it will be beneficial for all these people on the battlefield if they got killed now, because they will not be able to continue their sinful life, and they will get liberated in presence of Krishna, which is very glorious for them. So in short term, all these things are true. All these harms will happen, but don't just think on the bodily level, on the short term level. Think of the spiritual level. Then Prabhupada is bringing our attention to the fact that Arjun is very soft-hearted. We know that he's very soft-hearted. He has all these Vaishnava qualities. He has this spirit of sacrifice. He has spirit of detachment. He's compassionate. That's why he's ready to let the Dhritarashtra's son kill him. Because he's all this, he does not want to kill these people. He's very kind. He's very compassionate. The only problem is all these values, all these emotions that he's showing, they are all misdirected only to the bodily level again. Okay, he's only thinking of right now. His intentions are correct. At least his intentions are right. At least his values are right. At least his emotions are right. So he's a right candidate to receive this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Duryodhan is not eligible to receive this knowledge, because even on bodily level, his values, emotions, and intentions are not right. He's full of anger. He's cruel. He's aggressive. He's derogatory towards his own gurus. He's insulting. He's condescending. He's attached to enjoyment and sense gratification. So even on bodily level, his values, emotions, and intentions are not right. But at least Arjuna is showing proper values, emotions, and intentions. The only problem is they're just directed to the bodily platform, and Krishna will move his compass from bodily to spiritual platform. इधर मत लगाओ अपने 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 जो आपके इतने high virtues, इतने high principles, such amazing emotions of soft-heartedness and all these. Don't invest them just on bodily platform. Invest them in service of Krishna. So he's going to move the compass for Arjuna, so that Arjun uses these good qualities for a higher purpose, for higher principles, to uphold higher principles. He will redirect those virtues so that he can serve higher person, the biggest person of them all, the supreme person. So because all these values that he's showing right now, the value of detachment, all these are unrelated to Krishna. And whenever something is not related to Krishna, it causes agitation. Whenever something is not used in service of Krishna, it is just misleading, misused. It's a wrong application. So all these, his heart is in the right place, but it is a wrong application of all his good qualities. This is incomplete or partial understanding, and Krishna will give him complete understanding in the rest of the Bhagavad Gita. So we'll see how Krishna will move him from bodily vision to spiritual vision, from short-term vision to long-term vision. A very grand spiritual science will be revealed to Arjuna. And Arjun will ask many questions about various meanings of life. Who am I? What is the purpose of life? How am I trapped here? Why are all these people of different natures? What is the nature of this world? What keeps us here? How can we get out of here? What is out there? Where do you live? Who are you? What is our connection with you? How can we establish our connection with you in the best possible way? Or what are the different ways to establish connection with you? All these things. How do we live here? How should we speak? How should we behave? How should we control our mind? All those things Krishna will teach him in rest of the 17 chapters. So I'll stop here. Any questions, concerns, realizations, corrections? Please go ahead.
Okay, I have a question here.
Yes, Mati.
On the
Remember, we have to play Kahoot also. So 5 minutes for question answers. And then we'll start with Kahoot.
On the purport of 40, verse 40, it says, according to Chanakya Pandit, women are generally not very intelligent and therefore not trustworthy. So is he saying that in context of that unwanted progeny? Is that what he's doing?
Yes, Madhuri. No, so what Prabhupada is saying in the purport that women, if they are not guided by proper, maintainer in the family, like there is absence of an elderly person or a man, then they may become degraded. They may be exploited. Like we were talking about the predators in the world who may take advantage of them, and it can be misleading. It can be they can get misled. So not very intelligent here. We have to understand in the right context. I will just briefly mention because this is a very long topic. First of all, so few points I'll mention, please hear. First of all, the real intelligence is the intelligence that brings us to the service of Supreme Lord, that asks the questions about self-realization or spiritual realization. Okay, that's the real intelligence. The material intelligence is not what we talk about. So women do not have enough resources for spiritual intelligence. Okay, this should be very clear. Especially in previous yugas, they were dependent on the men to guide them in spiritual path. It used to be men who would learn all the scriptures, who would do all the austerities, who would go to various teachers and learn everything and do all kind of sacrifices, everything. So the man would be responsible for liberation or for spiritual advancement of his dependents, like women. Okay, so a wife will depend on her husband to liberate her. Okay, that was the situation in previous yugas. So in this way, women do not have enough faculties or resources available to them for spiritual advancement. Okay, that's why the word less intelligent is used. It's not material intelligence. It's not about how much maths you can do or how much financing or accounting or physics or geography a woman can learn versus a man can learn. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about spiritual intelligence. That's number one point. Second point is this point is irrelevant in Kali Yuga, because in Kali Yuga men are not very advance themselves. They are no longer responsible for the liberation of their dependents. It is each person to himself these days. Okay, that's why we see, like for example, in our class, it's mostly women who join the class. Why? Because women are more inclined towards spiritual realization in Kali Yuga. So that is the real intelligence, when you are spiritually inclined. But what Prabhupada is talking about is that when there is no guidance from the men or from elderly people in the society, there will be no spiritual guidance from women. When there is no spiritual guidance, when there are no proper rules and principles, then they will just be catering to their bodily needs, right? Because they're completely left alone. They have to maintain their family somehow. They have children, so they may get exploited by the unscrupulous men of the society. So understand the term less intelligent in a way that it's meant to be, which is spiritual intelligence and not material intelligence. The real intelligence is to try to achieve self-realization, which used to be the job of men in previous yugas, but now everybody has that responsibility. Each his own. Everybody has a responsibility to themselves now. Is that clear, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, that was just in a very short, quick answer. Anybody else? Okay, so
Mataji,
yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I have just a short-term realization. Like I would like to say that, am I correct that it's because of the Arjuna over you said about three faculties of mind, like thinking, desires, and on the emotions. So isn't it he offset an imbalance in thinking, like he's overthinking, that's why, and he's emotionally overwhelming, that's why these two things are happening, all of
Yes.
this.
Amazing. Yes, Mataji, that is perfect. And even desires, because he's not thinking of desire of Krishna, he's thinking of how much pain it will bring to everyone. So his thinking, willing, feeling. It's called thinking, willing, feeling. The thoughts, the emotions, and desires, all three have become corrupted or are misdirected. They are separate from Krishna. They are not aligned with Krishna. So he's overthinking, like you said, he's over emotional, and desires are also not aligned with Krishna's will. So in the end, his thoughts will be in control because Krishna will teach him mind control. His emotions will be in control. His desires will be well aligned with the purpose of Krishna, and so he will have clarity of purpose and a very organized, stable mind. Amazing, Mataji.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay, shall we go on to our quiz, if that's okay? We can take some questions next time. Okay, let's start. Thank you everyone for joining. I'm going to pause this recording. Panchakaltarubhischa kripa sindhuvevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna.